Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're going to be talking about the Bell & Ross BR01 Laughing Skull. Now, first I'd like to remind you we're here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, taking a look at this piece. And also I'll remind you, I'll be leaving a link in the description if you want to learn more about this watch. And also I'll leave a link in the description to our personal channel store where we have many of our favorite straps and watches for sale. It's an Amazon-based store. So now let's jump right into this watch. So again, this is the Bell & Ross BR01 Laughing Skull. And this watch is a 46mm stainless steel case. It is very large and very, very hefty. It generally isn't really my cup of tea. The skull motif is a bit macabre. I mean, you can't really wear it to like a formal business meeting or anything like that. But, I mean, some people definitely would like this watch. And it does have a very unique complication. So the whole reason it's called the Laughing Skull is because whenever you wind the watch, the jaw of the skull goes up and down, and you can see the wheel that actuates that underneath. And you can kind of choose, actually, what position you want the jaw to be in, because it stays there once you wind the watch. But it's a very cool complication to have. Also, this watch is pretty significant because it does have an in-house movement, which is not very common on Bell & Ross's watches. It's the caliber 206 movement, and it's actually got a 60-hour power reserve, which is quite impressive. So... Or actually, sorry, it is a 50-hour power reserve, not a 60-hour power reserve. And again, that's still very impressive. It's over my 48-hour kind of expectation for watches to have, so I really like that. It reminds me a lot of a Richard Mille movement, except obviously not as high quality. Just in the overall design language, it's very similar. You have the dark bead blasted finish, and then you have the jewels and the silver. There's not a whole lot of golds or anything like that on the movement, and I think that that's pretty cool. Also, this watch is a limited edition of 500 pieces, which is an actual limited edition. Omega sometimes does watches where it's like a limited edition of 1,000 pieces, and it's just ridiculous, and it's not actually limited because you can still get one if you want to have it. It's not limited like a Rolex or something like that. But again, I mean, the overall finishing is pretty high quality on this. It does feel very, very strong and kind of utilitarian as a whole. And also the genuine alligator strap is very cool, and it does exude quality, because a lot of times on luxury watches you see an alligator strap, but it's not actually alligator. It's just normal cow leather that's fashioned to look like alligator leather. This is a genuine alligator leather strap, so that's very cool. Now I'll move on to a wrist shot. And this does have a standard pin buckle clasp, which is pretty easy to put on. Given that this watch is brand new, I don't really want to bend the strap and actually put it on, but trust me, it's very easy. It's very similar to any of Bell & Ross's other pin buckle clasps, which are easy to use. So, as you can see, the 46mm case is very large on the wrist. One thing that I have not mentioned is this watch has sword hands, and when I say that, I mean actual sword hands. They're in the shape of swords, instead of the traditional sword hand language that like Omega Speedmasters or Seamasters used to have. These are actual swords on there, so it's kind of continuing a kind of pirate-like theme. And those swords actually do have superluminova built into them, which is very cool and useful. So, if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and share, and also remember to check out the links in the description. Thank you.